Morning, everybody. Welcome to Mystics MMOs. I'm your host, Mystic Raven. All right, guys. I'm on DCUO. I'm trying to get my atomic leveled up to level 30. I just got the rest of his outfit done, but I'll be doing some gameplay commentary. Obviously, I really like this outfit. I like what I went with. I went with metallic Superman, Kryptonian cyborg look with Metallo inspiration. So basically, it's the bane of the House of L. He wears it just to hunt down any Kryptonian, whatever. It's cool. I like it. It's all good. Anyways, so today I wanted to discuss doing it for the right reasons. And we've all heard the saying before, right? Do it for the right reasons. And I'm gonna explain what prompted me to do this. There's a lot of things in life, right? Whether it be your job, your curricular activities, your personal relationships. And the only thing I'm always going to reinforce to everybody is when you get into something, do it for the right reasons. Do it because there's something that inspires you to do something in a positive manner. There's a lot of things that can happen in a negative way in life, and that can be a bad aspect for people really quick. If you're not doing it for the right reasons, you might succeed for a short period of time, but eventually you will fail. And it comes back down to this, I believe, for me, more or less, is I see people in personal relationships, right? Marriages, dating, friendships, whatever. And they're there for selfish reasons. They're there because it benefits them and not the other person, or the other person is whatever, and they're in a hard place, and you find yourself taking advantage of that situation. And I honestly believe, like me streaming, for example. I'm a streamer, but I don't do it. I mean, I get some monetization, which is good. I mean, it's a good thing. But at the same time, it's not my driving force behind it. It's not what propels me to become a streamer. Becoming a streamer is basically I'm playing this game, anyways, and or playing any game. And I might as well try to help the players who are wanting to learn something, or interact with, people, who want to know something about it, or just, just general whatever, discussions and stuff. But that's my motivation behind it. There's nothing, there's no whatever behind it, right? And I always tell people, to be successful in a long-term sense, right? And to keep your drive alive in whatever it is you do, you have to, it comes back to that one element. Why are you doing it? Why are you doing this? Right? That becomes the most important question for anybody. What is the motivation behind you doing something? And as long as it's positive and you can take a look at it in a positive manner, then it's going to be fruitful. Right? It's going to prosper. But at the same time, man, if you're not taking a look at it from a perspective of everything else around you, and it's just selfishness, then it turns sour really quick. Me and my wife had this talk, and we were talking about security and whatever, and I was telling her, I was like, I want you to be happy. At the end of the day, that's what gives me comfort. Trust and loyalty is everything to me in my life and results. And I always tell people, if you're not happy in a circumstance, get out of it. It doesn't matter your job, your relationships. If something is not making you happy, it's not good, right? And I tell people, when you can take a look at somebody and you can say, I want the best for you with or without me, that's real love. That's real whatever. That's real. And you're not condoning, but you ask for that respect, right? You ask. The only thing, like I always tell my wife, if you were never happy, the only thing I ask you do, the only thing I ask that you don't do is, betray anything, just, I mean, we're fine, but I'm just saying, at the end of the day, that's what you want, right? But it comes with communication, a relationship. In work, it's not as clear cut. Communication's key in anything in life, but when you literally have to make these decisions based on, everybody goes for financial security, don't they? I mean, they're like, financial security is like happiness. I'm like, nah, I've seen people make a lot of money miserable. I've seen people who make little and are very happy with their lifestyles. And a lifestyle is a choice. It's a choice. What you decide to do. What are you trying to accomplish? But I always tell people, man, you do things for the right reasons, and you'll be a lot happier in the long run. Responsibility is one thing. Paying the bills, putting food on the table, and obviously, but try not to compromise yourself in the pursuit. Remember, we all have the right to pursue happiness, but how many people will find it? Right? How many people will find it? How many people will find what defines happiness for some people? I've literally had family members who were insanely wealthy and they were miserable. And it really saddened me to see like that money, it was the initial driving force. It was the end result never got them what they wanted, right? All the materialistic items, everything that they thought would bring happiness, it didn't. It absolutely didn't. And I teach my kids, don't let somebody define your happiness. I teach my girls. I have all girls, and I teach them. If you're not happy with yourself, you'll never be happy in a relationship. Never. It'll never happen. Because something's going to happen and you're going to blame the other person instead of looking at the most important thing, what made you unhappy. Because that'll follow you. It will follow you. No matter how many relationships you're in, no matter how many jobs you get, no matter what you do, if you can't figure out what drives you to be a better person, it will follow you. And that's not worth it, man. It's just not. It's not worth it. And I don't know. Maybe it's unplaced. Whatever. Morning, Cal. Hope you're doing well today. I look forward to you streaming sometime soon. I'm really looking forward to it. But yeah, I mean, I feel like everybody has to find this. I don't know, like. Call it spirituality, call it motivation, whatever you want to call it. But I honestly believe that it's different for everybody, and I honestly believe that. But you need to find it for yourself, or else you'll go crazy. You'll go nuts. You will try your hardest. You may fail. You may succeed. A lot of people take a look at success and they define happiness by success, and that's not it. That's not it. It's not. There's been times that I've been successful and I have been miserable. I have been miserable because it wasn't what I was aiming for. It was just for bragging rights. And at the end of the day, what did it do for me? It didn't do nothing. It didn't gain me any real recognition, any long-standing satisfaction. And that's what I'm always telling people. What's that? What gives you that moment of, you know, saying, hey, like the other day ago, we were talking about my cousin who was trying to be a nurse. Then it ended up doing whatever and wasn't happy. They did it for financial security, and it was all the wrong reasons. And it was an epic fail eventually. You know, even if you get a degree, even if you're in there and you're doing it, it turned out bad because they were doing it for the wrong reasons. If you get into nursing, it's because you want to help people that are sick. You want to try to do the best thing. If you're anything in medical, it has to be there. The passion has to be there within you. And for the people who are passionate about it, they will succeed. They will continue to be, you know. Might stream this morning for the first one, thinking about streaming VMA. I got a 1-bar Sorc setup. Go figure. Better get it in now. It might be dead after this new update. Might as well jump in with both feet, eh? Yeah, definitely. You know, set the bar to your comfortability. You know what I'm saying? And keep in mind, Kel, whatever type of content you're streaming or you're providing, whatever content you're providing your viewers. You know, you're doing it because it's something that you feel you can help other players with, like your experience. Like you said, I've just got this, and then you're learning it, and you can translate that right to your viewers. Be like, this is what I was struggling with when I first started this. This is what, you know, I found to be a lot better results, and it'll go a long way, man. Just little things like that will help your viewers. Like healing, I guess, like healing was my thing when I first started the streaming in Elder Scrolls. I started off with simple things, but when everybody said that the healers couldn't be done, that's what I latched to. And then it was every other class, and I wanted to do the things that I knew could be done, but players were saying it couldn't. And that's what I was pushing for. But get out of my way, you stupid balls.
You won't get away with this, scumbag. Somebody help! Put it out! Put it out!
Not gonna get that one. Yeah, I was just like, you know, I mean, and at least you know now that you want to do it, and you can. And guess what? You can do it. If you believe that you're wanting to do this, you can. You can succeed. All right, I believe in you. You got to have that motivation and that drive, but I honestly believe in you, Cal. I do. I believe in a lot of people, and I know I come off a certain way. I always tell people, man. Someone's like, why are you so hard on people? Like, especially when I'm in a work environment. I'm like, because that's what they need. They need me to. They need to hate me to succeed at this point in their situation. I appreciate the tips. I'm not comfortable at all. Just take it slow. You know, just take it slow. You know, do your thing, and just give little minor things. You don't have to talk all the time. You don't. Now, I feel like. It's easy for me because everything I've done has been in communications. So all my jobs, I've had to communicate. I always tell people, you know, what made me successful? My gift of gab. My gift to gab. And come across in a relating way. And even when I did music, that's one thing I wanted to relate to people who were listening to me. To have them, you know, regardless of the indifferent backgrounds, I wanted something they could relate. And when I wrote my book, that was something I wanted, simplicity, but at the same time relatable. Regardless, and that's what I push for every day. That's something I always push for. And I believe in you. Like I said, I honestly believe in you. I think you can do this. Just take it slow and do what you feel comfortable with, and it'll grow. It'll grow. Your comfortability, your familiarity, your how you approach people. It'll be slow at first. I mean, for the first 6 months, it was really slow for me, man. But it grew over time. It really did. You know?
I'm hit! You must be crazy to help out the Joker. I have his new formula, and I'll finish you later.
Alright, let's see what we got. DPS gear? Sure. I wish it would put like tank gears in the beginning. Oh, look. It's Harley.
Thanks. Too bad Birdbrain got the formula. I hope my puddin', I mean Mr. J, ain't too mad.
Look at all these.
Dude, you wrote a book. Awesome. I always wanted to be a writer. That's me.
Call him the Joker.
I wrote 2 books.
And take out the boy Blunder. The place is still
So I wrote a poetry book and I wrote a novel. And my writing style is a little different, but like my one book, one of my poems won like 3 awards or something, and I guess it was the creativity from my music days that kept me writing poetry. Poetry was really a big passion of mine for the longest time. You know, I always could express things in a poetic sense. And I guess that's why I was like, you know, I got into rap and hip hop and, you know, those are some of the, you know, things that I got into initially. And then I wrote a science fiction novel. I'm supposed to be following up with my second edition. And it didn't matter about the success for me. Honestly, I just wanted to do it, and one of my friends loved it. Be prepared to deal with trolls, Cal. If you make one mistake, trolls will... Yeah. Just don't let anything get to you, man. Don't, you know, stay focused, and I promise you, you will be fine. I hate these things, man. I only got 2 of them. That's gone. Alright. Gotta get the trick-or-treaters, man. And I've got to go back to North Burnley. I love this game, man. God, I like this game. The combat is still so good. The graphics have held up for what it was. I really enjoy this game. There's just a couple of things that would just put it really over the top, like make it like badass. And like combat, I try to get in turn-based, back into the turn-based games, and I can't do it. I honestly cannot do it anymore, man. I know that sounds crazy, but why isn't this die, bitch? You stupid hero. Oh, he's helping me. Cool. Oh no, it might be an evil person. I'm hoping. Laugh out loud. I'm going to make a ton of mistakes. BMA 1 bar. Yeah, and tell them that. Just be as simple as like, hey, you know what? This is where I made a mistake. I should have done this. Just correct yourself. Don't let them correct you, because then they'll act like you don't know. But if you announce that, here's where I messed up, what are they going to do? No, it is a hero. Ew, gross. So long as you're like making like you know those efforts, you'll be fine. I believe in you. I believe in a lot. Like I said, I just believe in people, man. I try to. I feel like everybody has this capability. The question of it is, and here becomes the question: what is their driving? What motivates them or provokes? Motivation and provoking. I'm like, it's a fine line. And I guess, you know, I used to be a trainer. So I train a lot of people, a lot of successful, you know, success in my training, is how I trained. And I'm like, you have two types of individuals. You need people that you can inspire and people that you taunt. And someone's like, that's whacked. And I'm like, it might be whacked, but it works. You know? I'm like, there are people who get motivated to prove people wrong. They want to prove people wrong. That's the type of person I am. I'm a type of person that literally I'm inspired by proving people wrong. I'm not inspired by inspiration because I inspire myself. Yeah, right? I motivate myself. Problem of it is I need something to challenge me. And that is the key to me. And those people are more like alphas, you know, and the other people, you know, who need, you know, motivation or need inspiration, those are people who need confidence, right? They lack confidence. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. And it's not. I'm not going to say it's a bad thing. It's not. It can be done. I've seen people do it on 2 dual resto bars. Ooh, nice. That would, I mean, your DPS would be like kind of wacky, but that would be pretty kick-ass. It's not what I want. Oh well, I'll turn this in really quick. I'll finish the rest here in a minute. But yeah, no, I honestly believe once you get your comfort zone, Cal, you'll do really well. And then on top of it, your motivation, your confidence will be established. So like Gilliam, in the beginning, I felt like Gilliam evolved during his streams. Like he went from just being a content creator, like helping people in the background, to becoming a content creator. Then he was starting to stream. And you could see this evolution of confidence in Gilliam's progression. And that's a good thing. Like, but like me, I had to play the devil's advocate of being like, you're not always right. Right? You're not always right. As much as you like to believe you are, you're not. And that's what it was. The beta cucks. Yeah, you know. But you definitely, you know, alpha people do not need inspiration. Their motivation lies in proving, like, you know, being taunted. They're taunted to succeed. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. It's true. It's just the way it is. They need that little bit of like, oh really? You think you can do it better than me? Type attitude, competitiveness, you know, who's better? That was my driving force every day of the week. It wasn't money. It was to be the best at whatever I was doing. And I had to do it. Now, majority of the time I ended up, you know, being an overachiever. But at the same time, there were other moments that I failed. And when I lost state, you know, I felt like it was the eye-opener. Like, you're not all that. You're not all that. You're not. You like to think you are, but you're not. And I guess for the first time in my life, I didn't know what that was. I was like, whoa, that's fucked. That's so fucked. And then you get back up, man. You get back on that horse, and you know, whatever. And you can take, and it can be a beautiful experience. Actually, it can be like one of the most beautiful experiences for somebody like me, because then there becomes this new driving force, right? To say, hey, you know what? Why don't you do something? Why don't you learn from this? Still have the drive, but aren't afraid to fail and learn from your failures. And that can be awesome, right? Because if you can learn from that, you grow. Even if with a beta attitude or alpha attitude, you can grow. You can grow. You know, I'm narcissistic. Yo, Ice, what's up? Hope you're doing well today, brother. Yeah, we are like, oh, really? MF, you want some? Let's go. Right. Yeah. Absolutely. You know, backing down is never an option to anything for me. Like, that's how I was. Like I've had 4 ass kickings in my entire life, but I got in so many fights. It was just ridiculous when I used to get in these fights. And most people don't want the confrontation. They're doing it for a psychological test to see if you're mentally weak or if you're intimidated and whatever. And I always tell people, like, when you get in a ring, you talk shit to try to psych people out. But, you know, the scariest person is the person who says the least and has the deadly stare. Like, you're fucked. You're fucked, dude. Because win or lose, I'm putting a hurting on you regardless. Whoever's walking out of this, the victor, I don't give a shit. You're getting hurt. You're getting hurt. I'm going to hurt you as much as I possibly can. And that's the scary person. That's the person you get scared of. That's the person you should be scared of, because they don't give a... Their motivation is not to win. Their motivation is just to try to put a hurt on you as much as they possibly can. That's the person you need to be scared of. You be on ESO tomorrow through Bloodspawn on my Sorc healer and Resto ulti spam for days. Nice. Nice. I'm actually downloading the update today for the PTS, and I'll probably be on PTS sometime tomorrow. So that's what I'm hoping to do. So crazy though, crazy. But yeah, man. I mean, what's your motivations, man? You know, in life, what are the things that drive you? You know, I always tell people, money's not a bad thing. It's not. Just don't let it be the only thing that drives you in life. Do not let one aspect define you. You know, you mold yourself. Your experiences is a part of you, right? I think we can all agree on that, right? We know that to be true. Like, our, you know, good and bads. Like, I never take a look at a bad scenario, what I've been through. I've gone through some ringer shit in my life. I mean, some ringer ass shit. But that's been my driving force too, right? So I come from a very mixed type background, blue collar with some white collar aspects. And so I've seen the best and the worst of all these different lifestyles. Have had friends. I've never had money, but I've had friends and relatives who've had money. And I feel like some of the things that I always took was like, I don't want to be defined by anybody. I don't want this feeling to say, you know, this is what's expected of you, right? Because I'm like, it's not who I am. You know, if anything, I'm anything but. I want to be successful. I want to be prosperous, but at the same time, to what degree? Right? To what degree do we determine, you know, where we need to become in life? Like politicians, man. I think politicians initially get in for the right reasons. They want to make a difference, right? Have you tried Destiny 2, Mystic? I have. It's not my cup of tea. It's not an MMO. It's a multiplayer shooter. Like H1Z1, I was thinking about doing like, because I have access to like H1Z1 and all that stuff. And I was like, but it's just not, they're, you know, not my cup of tea, I guess. You know, Destiny 2, it's a great storyline. I like it. I like the storyline of Destiny 2. It's just not my thing, you know? I mean, honestly, it's just something that I guess I'm not into very much. I've tried it, but... And they had a free download, I wanted to say, on PlayStation or something. Why can't I get in here? It says enter Chinatown. There we go. And there's a thing out there. I'm like, what the flip is going on?
Stupid wenches. They think to locate one of my nearby stores of exobytes?
Yeah, I'm definitely more of an MMO type person. Like this game, I love this game, but it is really instance based. Not to say that's a bad thing, but there was like that last boss in Titan, the world boss in Titan Tower, really cool. Kind of generic. They could have went a little bit more detailed, a unique version. I mean, it's kind of like Oolong's bots. So I felt like maybe they could have went maybe like a bigger cyborg, whatever. Sometimes I feel like the game gets a little too cookie cut. But the premise was there, and I was like, you know, this would have been awesome if they had a notification of people, like, you know, doing something, so people would, you know, get the idea, like, oh shit, there's something going on, like on the screen. Little things, man. Little things in this game would make a huge difference. But, you know, like I said, I mean, my motivation for doing anything in the MMO community is just experience. You know, trying to give it trying to have fun, I guess, for a recreational aspect, but yet giving players my experience, what works for me, what, you know, what hasn't, keeping it general and letting people decide where to go from there. That's been my inspiration. You know, I wanted to keep it as simplistic as possible, non-toxic. You know, I used to be like this huge ass. I'm still a dick. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm an asshole, and most of you guys know that. Okay, I'm an asshole. I really am. And I was an elitist. I was really an everything in aspect. I'm the true definition of what most people would consider an elitist. Because there's no option for failure. There's none. Like, if I'm at work, anybody on my team, if you're not the best, you will be. If you can't be, you will not be in my presence. It's just something I cannot tolerate. I don't want excuses. I want results. And that was in my gaming world too, man. It's just like, and sometimes my problem is it's like it's hard for me not to anticipate that everybody's like that, but nobody. And it's a very few people that are like that, really. And I was like, oh my God, you know, I got to change, man. You know, I got to change my expectations, because that was a downside of me, man. Right? I had this expectation that no matter what you do, you give your all. That's what you push for. You push to be the best in everything. You know, you don't have to be, but you push for it. You push for that shit. You anticipate that shit to be there. But and it worked. I mean, like, companies loved me, but they also had to, most of them understood my position too. Like, you know, I'm not like. My one boss was like, he's narcissistic. And they're like, well, that's bad. And they're like, no. And it's not always bad, because he gets results. You know, most of your corporations, whatever, I reinstalled it to give another try, trying to find something to take up some time. Kind of need a break from MMOs, just logging. It's a good game. No, I'm not saying it's a bad game. I'm not saying it's a bad game whatsoever. Like, I don't feel like it's a bad game. I really do not. I feel like it's a really good game. It really is a good game. I'll have to redo this. I don't even know why I'm bothering. Because I just queued. I still be raping and teabagging mofos in Halo. Halo, I loved Halo for the longest time. Like, I played campaign. And then I played Halo 3 with the multiplayer. And then I also did Halo Reach. But Halo 4, when it came out, I think I was like my done phase when Halo 4 released. You know? I really like the look of my dude. You're just like my Sorc healer, gets results. Right. Well, and that's the way it is for me in life. Like, I can do, and I always tell people, you get me with the right team, I can do anything. You know, I have focus, I have direction when it comes to that, but I can be overbearing. You know? Because my expectations is what I set to my standard.
not to make fun of
to what
monsters,
I can do.
I am not
That's where
a
I set the bar.
I'm a witch boy.
The bar is set to my expectations of what I can accomplish. And if I can't, I push myself to that point, right? That's where I push myself. But I also have a lot of like negative aspects too. Like, you know, it's not all it comes with price, man. It really does. Like, I'm not ignorant. Like I always told somebody, I'm like, I can never afford to be ignorant. You know, ignorance is bliss, and it's something I don't get to have. And I don't. It hurt me. It really hurt me a lot. And I always tell people there's certain things you don't want to know. Right? You just don't. And maybe it's better off that way. That you don't know. Because the pain, the real pain, the pain that you're never going to want comes with the knowledge. And that's sad. It's a sad, sad thing. It's not good. Like they say knowledge is power. Well, sometimes power, that type of power, you don't really want. You really don't want it. Gotta go see it. Definitely, Ice. Thank you for stopping in, though, at least. I could be hardcore, but only in these first-person shooters. I see. I'm not that good at that. At least, you know, and I can be honest. That is not a strength of mine. That is so not a strength of mine. I'm gonna keep my range from this dude.
The witch boy weakens. Place the crystals.
How dare you interrupt my party?
Now I'll get on top of him just to block him from.
Nearly as fun without the powers of Tara. This was
I encouraged some folks from the Magic Wing to give us a hand. They've conjured up a charm that will banish those annoying masked apparitions. I'm teleporting now. When the charm is full, it release the apparitions into the spectral retention chamber. I'll be sending that in.
I summon thee, my masked minions.
You still playing DC on Xbox, Spartacus? And where's Mustang? I mean, I know she works when I stream now, but I hope she's been good. I should jump on tonight and voice chat and just say hi to you guys. I miss you guys sometimes. I really do. I love the players I get to meet. I get to meet a lot of cool players. That's why I play MMOs. I'm very isolated a lot of times, but I'm very social at the same time. Like, when I meet people and I click with them, or when they finally get me, it's not the use of knowledge is power. Yeah. The use of knowledge. I like how you put that. I like how you put that. That's really good. I love how you put that. It's probably one of the most accurate rebuttals that a person could give. That's brilliant.
You thought you could wield the power of the demoness and harbinger of chaos.
Not the use of knowledge is power.
And now,
But sometimes, man, when you have insight, like, I won't get into details, but I was in my early 20s, and I came across something, and it changed my life forever. Forever.
You will look up from that.
And when I realized it, I could never make it go away. Right? You can't make that go away. And then all of a sudden you're like, it depresses you. It literally will depress the fuck out of you. Because you can't make it go away, man. You can't. You're stuck with it for the rest of your days. What's up, Jack? I love DCO, but it's such a damn grind fest. I don't feel like it is majority of the time. I just play. I go through the motions, man. Like, I don't feel like the grind is whatever. I mean, I like half the I feel like most people try too hard in this game, and that becomes their downfall. Like, I have so many alts. I have so many, and like, you know, I have alts in their hundreds. You know, my main's almost looking at 200. I've been back like, you know, 2 months, and it's like, it's really like you set your pace. Just pace yourself. It's like anything in a race. You know, you pace yourself, then you kick in the afterburners when it comes close to the finish line. You know, and if you can do that, you keep getting better time over a little bit at a time. You know, so that's how I feel like most players should take a game like this. And the devs actually do good with like setting up the events and the achievements. Some people at my college dedicate more of their time working than studying. Then they get stressed out because of the work they haven't completed. Yeah. You have to. In the trick in anything in life is trying to find the balance, right? So not only are you going to try to do something for the right reasons, but where's the balance for you, right? Where's your balance, right? Because you know, I have a tattoo on my arm, and I'm a Pisces, and it's literally of the Pisces fish because they kind of go opposite. So it forms the yin yang. So inside my fish are, you know, is the yin yang symbol, a line through it. And one is swimming in water and the other one's swimming in fire. And one is a skeleton of a fish and one is a koi fish. And spotted koi. And everybody's like, why? Well, you know, the biggest thing for me when I got the tattoo was it represented the two elements that we can never ignore, and that's life and death, right? And between life and death is where we find balance. It's the acknowledgement of the cycle, but at the same time, the balance that lies within. That we need death for life, right? You need it. Without this death and decay, life cannot flourish. And that's where I really like draws my inspiration. Nice. You have to pay bills, right? My friend worked so much last week and he looked so exhausted he hasn't even started on the assignment that's due next Friday. Oof, better get on it. Yeah, Mustang is good. We PvP a lot. Might start playing Divinity Sins. Oh, I never heard of that. We are looking into buy Fallout 76. Oh, of course, Fallout 76. I knew Mustang would be all over that. I knew Mustang would be on that. You know, Mustang always talks about Fallout, and that's one thing I like about Mustang. I really, you know, she's hardcore when she gets into something. Well, went to do a stream, had to set up YouTube, and it says there's a 24-hour wait. So VMA 1 bar stream tomorrow, I guess. Yeah. I mean, you have to get things set up and stuff. But once you get it set up, you'll be fine. You'll be fine after that. So let me check my currency here. Did I do my... Yeah, 3 keys. Okay. I'm trying to save up 7 keys for these stupid resurgent things. Oh, my God. I'm like, flip. Let me see if I did my... I think... Did I do my vault? No, I didn't. Because I got a vault ticket, too. So we'll do that. And then y'all... I'm trying to level this dude up. I got this dude like looking really good, and I'm like, man, if I can get like that one ore, and I don't know if I want. I like the look so much. I don't know if I want any of that on this tune. Maybe an ore, because I love the pack and all the. I'm feeling this. Maybe I could do the shoulders and maybe the feet and kind of switch it up a little bit, maybe, depending on which one I get. Oh, right there. All right.
That's it. Game's over. Step along, nothing to see. Get going before my good mood wears off.
Requires utility belt. Item 66. Too low to get it. At least I got it. At least I got it. Alright. Anything else of value? All I need from this Halloween event is the headless chest. It looks so cool. It looks so cool, doesn't it? I agree. That headless chest looks badass. I want the bat or I want the other thing. I'm like, yeah. There's a lot of on my wish list because I've been gone for years, like years from this game, and I like the fact that I could take a few months, come back, and I'm hoping to go back to Elder Scrolls full time. Elder Scrolls is my favorite game of all time, but right now it's PvP. It's not in a good place. PvE it's good, but after a while you're kind of like, yeah, you know, you'll burn yourself out of anything. Atomic is badass. I like Atomic. I like munitions, though. A lot of people don't like munitions. I love munitions. Like, when I get on my munitions, dude, I'm like, damn, boy. Damn, boy. I'm loving munitions. Like, it doesn't clip as well as I had wanted it to or something. You know, I was kind of like, oh, you know, seriously, like, this sucks, you know, whatever have you. But honestly, yeah, there's a lot of things I really liked about it. The atomic material looks so cool. Yeah, and that's the hardest part is, like, I don't know if I would put the material on this tune, on this one. Maybe my tank. But, like, I love this look. Like, I went with the Metallo, you know, Superman type whatever, Android look. And I really liked it. I was like, damn, I'm loving this, man. I love this outfit. As soon as I put the Metallo mask on him, I knew. I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And that's one thing I love about this game, man. Like, the combat plays really well. Hands down, it's very polished. You know, some of the rinse and repeat type stuff sucks, but at the same time, like, progression in the game, it gets a little monotonous. I'm not gonna lie. But when I start a new character, I think that's when I have the most fun. Is like going back through and like getting to play with different build configurations, whether it be support role, tank, healer, controller, or DPS, using the game features to my advantage, and there's a lot of aspects to that I enjoy. So that's like, and this, like I said, this game is what made me like stop my league. Like, I was in a top end league, so I can't say whatever at one time. Like, I imagine there are still like maybe some hardcore aspects to the game, but majority of the time I was on like downtime between my ults, and I didn't need to be a dick or a douchebag, you know? I didn't need to be. I was like, look, man, I'm pugging a fucking raid. Like, when I first came here, I was like, I thought it was nonsense. I literally was just like, is this fucking real? Is this real? People are pugging raids? They allow that to happen in this game? I was completely mind blown. But then after playing it, after experiencing it, I understood it, like, and I really enjoyed it. It was like, it took that aspect of, I feel like my days in EverQuest or a World of Warcraft and all these Rift and everything, and it really kind of like was like, oh, okay. Now I did try to play this prior to Rift, but it was during my time in Rift is when I really got involved in this game. Because it was the Rift shit that made me like, you know, like I have to reevaluate my gaming aspect really bad. ESO new DLC is going to show the skill gap between PvPers. Absolutely. 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 And that's what I'm wanting. I'm wanting it to be the evolution of skill-based PvP, and I feel like that's what the devs are going to do. And see, I have no regrets about talking about the shield problems or PvP issues because now things are getting addressed. Are they getting addressed because of me? I think I'm a partial factor, but I think the community as a whole is on the same page. Like, everybody is talking about what the problems are at this point. It's not about what the game does well. It's about what the game needs at this point. And that's what we need to be focused on. The PvE is done beautiful. It's beautiful what ZeniMax offers its PvE community, both in lore and open world content, dungeons, classes, and how they work efficiently in their roles. The game has developed. I mean, there's room for improvement, but overall, it holds true. It's held weight. You know, it's held a significant amount of weight. And for me personally, I'm really enjoying the PvE, but is it enough to sustain a player like me? After a while, no, but it kept me involved for 2 years. That's longer than any MMO to date. Because I would always come and go. Like, you know, oh, okay, well, yeah, sure, fuck, I mean, shit, you know. I did this, I'll come back. Like this game, I keep coming back to it. I end up coming back to this game, like, a lot. PvP in this game's good. Problem of it is, it needs help. It really does. The PvP needs help in this game. I'm not going to lie to you. Like, it needs a little bit of finesse. Not a lot. The counterplay's here. They implemented the counterplay, the combat system's here. Everything's here for it. Problem of it is they're not investing in it. They're not doing little things to try to make it competitive. The competitive aspect in leaderboards needs to be established. They need some other aspects to tactical type play, in my opinion. But I mean, overall, I mean, the game is pretty good. PvE, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Once again, though, I feel like that's some things about gaming companies. Sometimes they focus maybe too much on one aspect of their game, and then at the same time, other aspects go to shit. And I feel like ZeniMax doesn't want that to happen, and they would be smart for not letting it happen. You don't want that to happen. You don't want, okay, we've got PvE down. Let's keep pushing out the content for PvE, and we'll just put PvP on the back burner. Don't do that. Do not do that. Because you don't want to lose your PvPers. PvPers are very, they're not always buying content, but what's attracting players initially? It's free advertisement for their game at that point. It's not free advertisement, they're paying for it, but at this point, it's keeping new players coming in. It's keeping PvPers also essentially buying content based on PvP builds. So they'll have to buy the DLCs or pay the ESO Plus just to get the gear to be competitive in PvP, which I'm fine with a lot of that. I feel like PvP needs new sets and they need to readdress maybe like the structure of the PvP. But overall, like, ZeniMax has the right concept, and they're gonna continue to do well if they keep that the focus point, right? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. But no, I agree with you. It's going to close the gap. There is going to be a big gap change. Just to say something irrelevant to this topic, Avril Lavigne's new song "Head Above Water" is amazing. I have not heard it. My wife is an Avril Lavigne fan, so it's because Daybreak is working on a new MMO. Well, they scrapped fucking. They ended up scrapping the one MMO, which was EverQuest. Next, should never have done that. There were so many people looking forward to that because it was going to be the a new EverQuest. Not the first, because there was an EverQuest on the game, but it would have been literally probably the most amazing aspect. I'll be honest with you. If that would have gotten released, EverQuest Next, I was jumping all over it. EverQuest, in my opinion, has the best raids to date. World of Warcraft has good raids. Don't get me wrong, but World of Warcraft gets their rating aspect from EverQuest. And I was like, I'll be honest, man. I'll be honest. EverQuest PvP is the goddamn worst. I would never PvP in any EverQuest game. I've tried. It sucks. They should never even try to put PvP in their games. Ever. The only good, but PvP, like PlanetSide 2, amazing from the game company. PlanetSide 2 was amazing. PlanetSide 1, awesome. Star Wars Galaxies was built around PvP, so it was amazing as well. But the EverQuest franchise sucked. Matrix really fucking sucked. Matrix, like, oh my god. And MMOs are such a whiny ass people. One little change to a class and the class is dead. I know they're pussies. I call those pussy players. Those aren't PvP. Those are pussy players. Even if we fall to this, thank you. I'm a monster. Am I worthy to be called such?
Metropolis Museum researcher's log.
Like, I would have loved. Now, for example, I would have loved if, and I'm hoping with Atlantis. Atlantis is coming out in a few weeks, so I'm hoping not only are we getting a new area, which is gonna be badass. It's going to be scaled, so that's cool. At least they're getting the idea of their scaling system now, which is amazing. I'll be honest with you. I really like the fact that they're no longer limiting players to areas, and I hope they do that with some of the backwards areas like New Earth and all that stuff, and Sons of Trigon. They really could probably stand to do that, honestly. But I'm hoping with the new area with Atlantis. Now here's the deal. So with Atlantis coming up, we're gonna get new sets, new raid, whatever. Probably a new dungeon or two. You know, it's gonna be a big one. I hope they put new quest lines like this, new storylines in the areas, not just repeatable quests. Like, I would love to see some missions like this set up, right? Like, that adds to the storyline. I'm hoping. And give feats to those. So you'll have solo play, we have a new duo, we have a new 4-man, and we get, you know, two new 4-mans technically should be, and then one new raid. That's what should happen. So we should get one new raid. I would like to see 2 new dungeons and 2 new duos, and then a couple of little solo content. Just for, it breaks up the progression system, but it adds to the storyline. Titans is good. I like Titans. I love the environment in which Titan Tower was implemented, because we have world bosses. We have little, you know, shit going on with Gizmo and Mammoth and those guys running around or whatever. You got to try to find them. But honestly, I feel like there are a couple of things that Titan, like the Judas contract, did really well. I love the twist of the Judas contract. I felt like DC did really good. You see, Deltia is no longer a content creator. Yeah, but you know, I eventually anticipated him to whatever. He's been kind of like that for the last couple of months. But I appreciated when Deltia came back, because he came back with a new perspective, and now he's being Deltia. Like I feel like he's a successful person, so I feel like Deltia is getting to be Deltia. You know, he's getting to do the things in life that means something to him, and I wish the man well. I wish the man the best, because that to me, when like, and you can see it, it's not with pain, it's not with anguish that he's leaving. And he says, I'm still going to game. He's still going to be on Elder Scrolls Online. There's a chance he can still bump into Deltia, right? So it's kind of cool. But, you know, the thing about it is, for Deltia, if he came out with new content tomorrow, would it be a bad thing? No, absolutely not. Because I feel like people would love to see him from time to time and hear about what he's doing in life, because he built that audience and he has that relationship. So it's now that he's finding his balance and the things that mean something to him in his life. And that's what I guess is it's fitting for this conversation piece today. So I wish the man the best. I'm really happy for him. I'm really happy that he's involved with his community. He's reaching out. He's doing so many different things. And I actually have nothing but the most admiration for Deltia right now, and I wish him the most success in the future. And same thing with, like, you know, when Gilliam went to ZOS, I didn't really care. I think it was a good thing. Like I tell people, I'm like, I have mixed emotions about it. Like I feel like he's gotten to grow as a player, so I kind of feel like that's a good aspect. Am I supposed to go down here, or what the fuck am I supposed to be doing here? Okay, here we go. I almost forgot. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm not done. There's something right here.
Just who I needed.
Hold on.
Wretched Amazons not only refuse to serve me, they dare to stand in my way. They have usurped my ritual to summon magical exobites, and are using it to seek my own precious hoard of Brainiac's captured powers. This cannot go unpunished. Free the bestiamorphs the Amazons have tamed, and punish the Amazons as they deserve.
Cersei, shut up.
Enter my stronghold quickly to join me and show these
Cersei,
what true magical power means. Wonder Woman must not reclaim the exobites.
Okay. Okay, if I go up too much, it's not there. I would hate to think it's that one that's making the noise. Just really curious, why didn't you finish your degree? I got recruited by the end of my freshman year to go work in the field I was pushing for. So my degree didn't mean shit to me. My boss was like, you have to pass your boards. Anyways, and that's true. I had to. In my field, I didn't need a degree to take my boards. I didn't. So it was literally pointless. And thank fucking God for it, because debt, and I hate the twist ass bullshit that the colleges try to pull in the states and shit. But like obviously, if I'm going to go see a doctor, I want somebody who's educated, right? And education's important. I'm not saying education isn't important, but she recruited me with purpose. She was like, we're recruiting you. You don't need a degree. You are going to succeed. I'm like, okay. And she's like, we're hired. I was the youngest hired in the company at the time in the area. I was the youngest. So was I successful? Yeah, fuck yeah. I was the youngest in the fucking district. You know? I think I was the youngest in Ohio even at the time. So, yeah, I didn't need my degree. I passed all my boards, all of them. I had my series license, I had my boards, I had my everything, yeah. Yeah, fuck it, yeah. It's like, I passed them all the first time. I was like, whatever. There's people going to college who couldn't even pass those exams. Like, when I was taking my exams, there were people there with degrees and were failing left and right. Don't even know how. That to me was mind-blowing as fuck. I mean, you take a look at some of the most successful people. We go back to the exception, right? It goes back to the exceptions. There are people in certain things that are the exception. There's something here, and I can't find it, and it's driving me flipping mad. And I keep thinking, is it that one, or what is it? Oh well, flip it. I can't find it. I'll look it up later or some shit. But yeah, I didn't need it. Like literally, once I passed my exams and stuff, and I got my I had my Series 7, my Series 13, my Series 11. I had my PNC. Like there was one or two other things. Anyways, by the time I was done, like I could work in any financial product. I could do bonds, stocks. I could do any like insurance except health. Now I studied health because my wife, she was in health insurance. So me and my wife have a similar background, but she has her degree in business. So my wife went to college, finished college. She was working in human resources while she was prior to going to college as an assistant in human resources, and she was a trainer. But she did stuff too in business. But now she's a butcher. Like my wife doesn't even work in an office anymore. So, oh, hold on. Get that. Yeah, but like I always tell people, there are exceptions, man. Like, what's his name? Who, you know, founded Apple, right? I mean, let's, oh, it's off the top of my head. He didn't finish college. He didn't. And I mean, there was some limiting aspects to what he did. He surrounded himself with people he knew could, but his vision was so profound, it made it possible. Like he's the one. When you take a look at those people, there's a lot of people. Now he finalized his degree, I think like what, in his 40s, 50s or something. He finalized his degree, but he was a college dropout, literally. I was like, fuck yeah, man. Hell yeah. Now, what the hell, man? I just came out of here. It says, go back into Cersei's stronghold to continue your mission. But I don't even know. What the fuck? Is this really happening? I hope I didn't have to repeat this or this was different. Well, the slow people say they learned differently. Are you saying that John was slow? Is that what you're saying? Everybody learns different. Like, I'm an aesthetic learner. You're like, if you take the test, it'll tell you, like, if you're taking your test, you'll figure out your strengths and weaknesses. I'm a believer of those type of tests, too. And then you use that to your strength. Like, I have, unfortunately, I'm cursed with photographic memory. It's not good. A lot of people are like, that'd be awesome. Like, no, it's fucking not. It's fucking not. Like, I was through the drive-thru. I haven't been at the restaurant for like a month and a half. I was picking up something to drink and some other shit. And one of the girls that were typically would work in the back. Now, mind you, I don't go every day. I'm poor. I'm a poor motherfucker. I'm poor. I mean, I'm the definition of poor. Okay, just let's be 100% honest here. I'm the definition of po. But I'm happy, and I'm fine with that. You know? But, literally, it was crazy. Like, the one older lady, she was in the front, and I was like, I see they got you in front. And she's like, yeah, I'm usually back first day. And I'm like, well, you know, at least you got your hair done. I'm like, what'd you do? Get that done probably like a day or two? No, I've never been there in a month or two. But I noticed the quality of the hair and whatever and the color and all these things. And she's like, you recognize my hair change? And I'm like, well, yeah, I guess. I'm like, you took off about 3.5 inches and you put definitely, you know, not a profound perm, but definitely. Yeah, I have photographic memory. It sucks. If I've been anywhere, any time in my life or seen something, I can remember it majority of the time. Like probably with the 75-80% accuracy. Probably why I got into MMOs, because once I learn a mechanic, it sticks forever. I can go back 10 years later for a game I haven't stepped to in 10 years, and I can remember. That's like even with the exobytes, I remember the node spawns. So anytime I was node farming, once I've seen something, everything was set on repetitive because of my memory capabilities. Now, as far as like wording and stuff, certain aspects I can remember word for word, but not a lot. But anything visually that's been whatever, yeah, it sticks. It's done. It's stuck. It's stuck. It's burned in my memory. I can't erase this shit. There's a lot of things, like I tell people, man, there's a lot of shit I'd like to forget. Like, I wish I did see some shit. Like honestly, I really wish I could forget that. But yeah, whatever. See, I hate these little sounds that throw you off. Like you can hear them and you're like, wait a minute. Awesome? Not really. I don't like it. Right there it is. I don't like it.
I leave this orb for all who fight to change.
Some people would say, oh, it'd be awesome. No. Fuck no. Fuck no!
They belong to us all. We must keep them safe and use them against Brainiac's tyranny.
Now, I do have, like, this really problem with my nerves, though. I'm not going to lie. Like, one of the things I have a problem with is I do have anxiety disorder. And it's fine. Mine's more chemical than psychological, I guess. But I shake constantly. Like, constantly now. It wasn't so prominent. But, like, there's times, like, I shake so bad, like, I can barely hold it like a pen. And you would think it would be, like, something serious, like, you know what I'm saying? But, like, every so often I go to a neurologist, I make sure I get checked for all that stuff. But, you know, like, I shake. I do. But, you know, I try not to stutter. I feel like we all have like a slight stuttering problem, like we all have something. So, but like I'm always fidgety, I guess. Like always. Like I can't. I like sometimes I'm sitting there and my daughter will be like, "Stop shaking your leg," and I'm like, "Am I shaking my leg?" And they're like, "Yeah, Dad, your leg's off, like off." And there's just times I don't even realize that I'm doing like things like that. But it's okay. We all have something. I don't sit and whine about anything in life. I don't have time to. I don't have time to sit and cry about stuff.
Metropolis Museum, researcher's log. The metalwork on these gauntlets is extraordinary.
Well, that's terrible. Has it become better? No. Never will. I have to just I have to check to see if it just progressively gets worse. That's the concern right now in my life. Just making sure it doesn't get worse. And it's fine. I mean, like I said, I mean, it's fine. I don't sit and worry about it, and I don't ask people for pity or anything like that. I don't want it, to be honest with you. Don't ever ask for it. I always tell people, man, you see people, you know, they'll like, I believe, like, we need to help people who need help. Like I have a friend who was in a wheelchair, and they could have got assistance for the rest of their life, right? Because they're completely have no use of their legs, none. But this person didn't want to be defined by that and would still make an effort to live as much of a life as they could, regardless of their situation. And that was inspiring for me. Like when you see people like that, you know, making, you know, those efforts to go as far as they can, that's important. You know, I feel like nobody wants to sit and wait around for death. You know, I mean, because when you see people with handicaps or any situation in life, and you can throw anything out there. You can literally whatever. Nobody wants to sit around and wait for death, because eventually that's what happens. And you know, when you take a look at people, you know, my brother works in his companies are based on nursing homes and stuff, right? So he's working with people who are, you know, whether they're being, they're needing assistance or they're independent. There's independent living and all these other aspects, and there's people who need assistance. To me, when you see these type of people, oh, hold on, come on. Okay, hold on 1 second. And I guess that's kind of where I'm always at, you know. At least there's people out there trying. Because when you see people in the nursing homes and stuff, and you see them, you know, and there's nothing left of the quality of life, right? You want to try to give them some of that life back as much as possible, regardless of their situation. You know, my friend's mom died of Parkinson's disease, and it came really like unexpected, and to see her go through that was just heart-wrenching for me to see that, you know, and seeing somebody, you know, same thing with like Lou Gehrig's disease and things like that. Oh, no, get off me, you stupid Amazons. Oh my God. Okay. You know, I always tell people, man, I feel like what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to help each other. You know, we're supposed to be trying to try to help people with quality of life. You know, let people have their dreams. Roz, what's up? Let people try to have their dreams, and let people try to do, you know, whatever. But the way our society is set up, it's hard. It's hard, man. Because everything's about the profit. Everything on the bottom line is about the dollar, right? It's what it is, and it sucks, man. It's a sucky aspect, man. You know that, you know, we have to. So many people in the world have to suffer because, you know, what's available and what isn't. You know, we have the technology, but who can afford that type of quality of life?
As I knew when
I'm going to love my monk build. Nice. I'm so happy for you, brother. Keep it up. Keep up the good work.
always, I shall reward you richly. And remember,
I believe in that. I believe that, you know, we all have, you know, the right to have I guess a quality of life, right?
I was created by the gods to be a champion of peace. I know the Olympian gods well, all their strengths.
enter my stronghold quickly to join me and show these traitors to magic what true magical power means. Wonder Woman must not reclaim the exobites.
Wonder Woman must not reclaim the exobites.
Gorilla Grodd. That is one.
It's a weaponless Templar tank. Weaponless? If you get a video, you got to link it to me sometime, Roz. Oh, Alien Tech, Gotham Knight. Sure, I'll take the Gotham Knight. Sure. If you ever get a video, you gotta you know link it to me. I'd love to see it. Cause you have me intrigued. You have me very intrigued. You have me curious. That's right, no weapon at all. Yeah, you got my interest with that statement. I'm not gonna lie. You literally you know, hey. So I'd love to see a video sometime, man. I'd love to see a video, brother. I would love to see it. Just to see it. That would be badass. So, hell yeah. Nice. So, this is progressing well. I think I'm gonna wrap this though. I'm 22, about to be 23. You know, probably within the next whatever. Leveling in this game's not bad. So, and I feel like anybody who's coming into the game, there are always new players playing. Monks are holy people versed in martial arts. Yeah, ideally they are, right? Absolutely. You know, now, I feel you on the idea. Like I said, I love the look of the tune. I feel like maybe the S texture could have been a little bit different, a little bit more of whatever in color, but I like it, especially since it looks like it has a face with my nipples and my little whatever. There's a blood rage. I like that mask. Look at that. That is nice. Yo, Static, what's up, dude? You're here when I'm about to call it. And since there's no physical staff, I have to go unarmed. I bet. That's why I said I want to see it. If you get a video, man, post it, link it to me, seriously. But yeah, I'm going to leave you off with this. Just no matter what you're going in life, no matter what you're doing, it doesn't matter. Make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, whatever. Which Zoss needs to make an unarmed skill line. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. I've made recommendations for them. We'll see. We'll see how far they go. But anyways, man, I'm going to let you guys go. Just do things for the right reason. Let your conscience be your guide and find motivation to lead you into positive direction no matter what you pursue. And if you can do that, I can guarantee you'll have a lot more success moving forward. All right. Once again, I'm Mystic Raven. This is Mystic's MMOs. I want to thank everybody for watching and coming in the chat channel today. As always, have a nice day.